What I'm going to show you now is how to do live trace, which will automatically trace an image really quickly. Um, so let me zoom in here to this image here. Nice high contrast. I have it selected. I go up to Object, Image Trace, and I say Make and Expand. It's going to tell me it's going to take a while. I just say OK. And instantaneously almost, it has given me a completely traced image. Now you're wondering, why didn't I show you this before I taught you how to use the pen tool? Well, one of the things about this tool is that it makes a million little points. And if you want to go in and manipulate something, if I go in here, let me zoom in. Say you wanted to clean up that corner. Well, that's not too bad, but in some areas, you have millions of little points, and if you want to clean them up, it's so much work that it almost seems not worth it. Okay, but this one was a relatively amazing, easy. You can see all the points there, especially someplace like this. It's just crazy. If you wanted to smooth that out, it's deleting a lot of points. It's almost faster to draw them. So I have over here this sunflower, a nice clean contrast image. So let's take this one and do Object, Image Trace, Make and Expand. Hit OK. I got hardly anything here. And what I do have is really hard to work with. See all those little points? So if I wanted to clean that up and refine it, there's a lot of junk in there. All right, so this one here, this is a nice clean image. It seems like that would work very well. So let's go to Object, Live Trace, Make and Expand. Not so much. So if those didn't work, this fabric here probably won't work, right? I'm going to go up to Object, Image Trace, Make and Expand. Okay. Look at that. It's kind of interesting. It kind of did something, but see, all that green are points. So it is a bit insane how many little points there are in there. Yet, when I back out, if I just collect that and I say, all right, well, let me give it a color. And then I select this one and give it a different color. Select this. So it can be kind of interesting, but nothing that you can absolutely plan for. And then you've got all these little dots in there. If you're going to try to select those, maybe you can get something, maybe not. So it's not always successful. And here, this one. What it is very good for, if you need to copy a logo, say there's some logo or something that's high contrast, black and white, it would do a pretty good job. And this surprisingly did a pretty nice job with this too. But it's got this really funny look, and see how everything is very edgy. It doesn't have nice, smooth curves. So really, the pen tool is your friend, okay? So I wanted to show you that. And now the other thing I wanted to show you is how to put type on a curve, okay? So I'm going to zoom in here, and we have two pen tools. There's the pen tool and there's the curvature tool. I like to use the regular pen tool. I feel like it gives me more flexibility, but the curvature pen tool also can give you a nice clean curve really easily. P, and I'm going to give it a stroke and get rid of this so you can see. So I have a nice curved line. So it can give you a really perfected line. So if you're, nitty gritty trying to trace something, you really want the pen tool because it's nice because it can also go from straight to curved to straight to curved. So when you're doing a curve like this, you can get a nice curve, especially more if you're tracing. But then if I needed to go and go straight lines and then curved, that tool is really a better tool. And if I'm really going to try to trace something really accurately. But this is a great, nice curve here. So in order to put type on a curve, you first have to draw a curve. And then you go to the type tool and you hold it down until you see type on a path tool. Okay? So then you get the type on the path tool and you click it anywhere you want on that path. And automatically it will give you this lorem ipsum type. So I can go in and say something else. I'll put, okay. And then just like regular type, you can go and change the size and you can play with these controls that I haven't spent much time with you with, but if you go to character, you can change the spacing in between. Okay, so you can tighten it up going into the negative. So let me now draw a curve that goes in one direction. And then in another direction. Okay, so I am going to flip that out. And so again, I go to type on the path, and I'm going to click on my path. So there I've got some lorem ipsum type there. So that's great. So what you can see here is it's not always nice and even. So you can go back to your text tool and you can select the text and you can play with that spacing. Sorry, I want to make it wider. So when you are over the top of a curve, it's spreading the letters out. So in that case, you want to tighten. And where it's in the inside of a curve, you want to give it more space to spread it out. And then ultimately it looks more even. So then after you've drawn your text, you can still go in there and push the handles around to get it and where your dots are and spread it out to make sure it's nice and interesting, because sometimes you end up with the space between the words in an unusual or awkward space. And once you've drawn the line, if you need to make changes, you can still make changes. So if you go and you click to add a point, you can add a point to the curve, and then you can go back and play with that curve. I can bring this point up and swing that around. So I can continue to put some words on here. Okay, and then just like regular type, I get this plus sign if I'm missing some text. So you can also manage how your text sits on here. You gotta get it at just the right spot. Click a little bit above the line, and you notice I have this piece here that's telling me the end of my text. This is my center of my text, and over here is the last bit of text here. So if I go and click and move, I can slide everything around. I can switch here between up and down. Okay, and so now over here where I've run out of space, again, I can go unclick the text tool, go back to get the direct selection tool, and I can play with that, say I need to get the last of my text on there. And now you notice the little red box is gone. So now I've got my text here. So you can see, let me make it all the same 0 spacing. And so the IPS here is bumping into each other a little. So I can go and try adding a little space there. Sometimes it's better to just jump up and put some more space in. It doesn't look like it's crowding too much there. So, and sometimes it's a little awkward. Sometimes when you get these, an S blends in well, but the I and the P aren't doing a great job. So again, oops, grab the wrong tool. You can go up and just noodle it a little and play with that curve. Sometimes you're actually trying to wrap around something so it doesn't work that easily. Another thing you can do is if you have a rounded rectangle, sorry, not a rounded rectangle, I meant to say an ellipse. If I go back and I get an ellipse and I try that one more time, ellipse, okay, and I'm holding down the shift key to get a perfect circle. Okay, move these out of my way here. And I am again going to switch this so you can see the line. I am going to get my type on the path tool. I'm going to put my lorem ipsum in there. Okay, now it's starting here and ending here. So I may want my text to be perfectly centered. So notice when I did that, I'm getting that little text symbol. That means it's going to give me more text, but I don't want that. I'm going to try to zoom in here and move my control. So I'm going to move this around, all the way around to the side, and move this one all the way. So you see where my points are on the line that show me my axis, right? So I'm going to have this sit. I'm lucky here I can cheat how much text I have here. I'm just going to make sure I have the right amount of text to make this sit on here. So I want to make it centered. So I can go up here and center my text. So that was flush left. Now it's centered. Okay, so say I want text on the top and text on the bottom. So I can go copy, paste. All right. So now I'm going to want text on the inside. So I can again click on my text here till I get this symbol here. And I can pull it around to the inside. Okay. But now what happens is when I go and I put this on here, what I actually have, if I make a circle, say you had a medallion of some sort. When I go and I put this circle on here, sometimes what happens, this is on the inside of the circle and that's on the outside of the circle. So very often you might want to make two circles so that you can have one on the inside and one on the outside, and play with that a little bit more. So again, I have this where I've used this control in the middle to bring it in or out. And then on the sides, I can move my text all the way around to the top again. Okay, so I have one for the end and one for the beginning. So you can go and play with that. Okay, good luck.